Stats, please.
Yeah.
Hey, Matty, how are you? Thanks. Cheers.
Thanks.
The injured guys first of all, Trev.
Don't know, they're in with the doctor right now. Matty doesn't look good, so he's in with the doctor right now. So we'll just wait till that comes back first. I think Jamil is Jaren's okay, I think, but I haven't been briefed.
Sorry, Dick, okay.
What were your thoughts on the performance overall tonight?
Look, I think we played pretty hard for most of the game, certainly not in the first quarter. They jumped us at the start, and we knew that they were going to come back. You know, playing a team back-to-back, you expect the response, and we didn't match it in the first quarter. And, you know, they got out to 13 points in the first quarter, and we stepped it up in the second quarter. You know, we fought diligently in the second half, but it was just too much of a gap. When we had our charges and then we turned the ball over, just loose turnovers. And then they hit some big threes to push that out to double figures.
The guys executed pretty well for the most part defensively, but it was just those couple of periods of time, wasn't it? Really,
Yeah, at the start of the fourth, too, I think we turned the ball over 3 times in a row. When you run it was 6 points going into the fourth, so that's when you want to execute well the first 3 minutes of that quarter, and we turned the ball over, and then they pushed it straight out to double figures. We just have to get better at it. That's the competition. Obviously, we were still stuck with JK with limited minutes and so forth, but hopefully we'll learn from it.
what did you feel out there? I mean, the guys sort of seemed to not come out with the same energy as you had on Thursday night. Do you think that was something you kind of felt out there?
Yeah, look, I think the temperament of the group was good. Obviously, they took that jump at the start, and we didn't respond immediately, and we responded in over time. And I thought we actually had them there, and we got to have that belief that we can sort of throw that sort of knockout blow and really take, seize the moment as such. Especially, some role players that come in there. They really need to seize that opportunity and have some belief in themselves, because there are some quality guys on our team. It's just up to them now to believe in themselves.
Mate, you talk about belief. I mean, Mason Bragg seems to have tons of it.
Yeah, no doubt, and I think that's a representation of a young guy that comes out and lives for the moment really, and takes advantage of what's given to him. And credit to him. Look, I think tonight he can learn in terms of that level. Once it's going to start, that intensity is going to pick up. He just needs to sort of slow it down a little bit and get into that process. He can't go gung-ho all the time. But credit to him, he, especially at the second quarter, I thought he gave us a fantastic spark.
You guys are becoming really practiced at dealing with adversity. I mean, particularly injuries. I mean, if you look at even the championship winning years, it's just one thing after another with you guys. I mean, how do you stay together and kind of constantly having to deal with that?
Oh, I think it's just part and parcel right now. I think it's sort of just coming the norm, and look, that's what I love about this group. Whatever's being thrown at us at the moment, we've really bought into it and really come together as a brotherhood. That's one of our core values, and we want to represent that. We want to walk off the court knowing that we stayed together. And look, I think in terms of it, I guess it really helps the team. Hopefully, in the long run, this is something that's going to benefit us. I would love for the whole lineup to be healthy at the moment. It's just not how it is. But look, that's just, I guess, part of the professional game at the moment.
Well, good. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
See you around, buddy.
Cheers.
Give him a lot to Ashley.
See you, Tim.
later.
Yeah, we'll do. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were disappointed as a group of what we dished up in the first game over there in Perth. I thought we were highly reactive, and they're too good. Their athletes are too good. You know, I made a mistake strategically, and I told the fellas, you know, without Damien Martin there, I tried to extend our defence, trying to put the ball in keep the ball out of Kenny's hand and make one of the other imports, either Johnson or Prather, a ball carrier and let them get into offence. But they are so athletic, they just ran it down our throats. It was a bad, well, in hindsight, it was the wrong call and got them off to a flyer, and we're playing catch up from then. And as I said to the fellas after the game the other night, the second half, we saw a change in the way in which we're playing, but we still come up short in a game when we almost got out of jail. So playing against this team, I mean, they are a high-quality team that are going to be in the playoffs, and you're going to have to beat. They're tough as tough at their place, and fortunately, my guys came out and just showed right from the first tip that we were going to be physical, we were going to defend, we're going to keep it out of the paint. We had a little slip up, got a little bit tired perhaps halfway through the second period, but then in the third and fourth, I thought we played at a level which we need to play at, and it was just we missed some shots at some crucial times, but then down the stretch, those 7 up, and then Newley goes whack, and the very next play, Kevin goes whack. Our fans get into it, and you know, we're able to get the win, albeit that we probably should have won by a few more. A little bit disappointed down the stretch that we didn't hold on to that larger margin, but that was a big game for us. I mean, they're all big games, but home games are big games against a team that's going to be in the playoffs, which we haven't been in the playoffs for a long time and got a huge battle just to make the playoffs.
And what about the performance of the gentleman?
My man.
Forced the turnover in that crucial run at those 2 big baskets.
Yep.
He was a powerhouse.
No, hit some jumpers. He was a beast around the glass. You know, and that's what we need from him. Greg, we need that from all the guys. But, you know, he stepped to another level tonight. And, again, I don't think not by that we haven't necessarily been calling the plays, but to get in the ball, but he hasn't had enough touches. You know, him and a few of the others inside, like the other night, we had more shots from the 3-point line than we did inside. So we needed to get him a few more touches, and I think tonight, collectively, we were running the same. We didn't have new plays or anything. We were running the same plays, but we just were able to get it down low. And the way in which they were playing off our fives, because we're running our shuffle cuts and they're trying to help out. You know, Josh came in and hit some real big baskets, but at both ends of the floor, that presence inside is critical.
Drew, you didn't have anyone over 20 points tonight, so just talk about the balanced contributions you got from so many different sources tonight.
Well, you know, we've got a lot of different weapons that we can go to, and I think that one of the biggest challenges we face is guys buying into the system and sometimes sacrificing their game, because we've got a lot of talent. And, you know, I think we'd love to get that nice even spread where everyone gets their 14 to 16 points and we've got 7 guys doing that perfect, but it doesn't always work out that way. You know, there are times when guys are going off. Kevin was going off the other night, so we milked that for all it's worth. You know, and that's going to happen from time to time. Brad's done that a few times. But then it's a matter of the other players that are there saying, well, they individually have the capacity to sometimes do more than what the opportunities we're providing them. But that's the beauty of your team, and you've got depth in your team, and if everyone buys into that and is prepared to do that, that's the makings of something special.
Josh, how did you feel out there tonight? It seemed like you started to get a little bit of the flow. Offensively, Drew just talked about the fact they want to get you the ball a bit more than they have done.
First of all, I would like to thank you guys for inviting me out tonight again. I know I already said that, but thank you. You know, this is a special moment right here. I'm able to get up here and talk a little bit, but you know, as Coach said, and you know, this is something that, you know, I'm making sure I do. I think all the guys have bought in, but you know, we're all sacrificing something, and we see the bigger picture. And we have a great group of guys. We're hungry. We're learning. We're still growing together on both ends of the floor, and it's a process, and we're just trusting the process. So.
At this point of your career, did you expect to find a situation like this? I mean, you know, everyone talks about your buy-in, and everyone's buying into the
you already know. Yeah, I get to play the game that I love, and I said that when I first got here. And I want to, thank the organization just for giving me that chance and opportunity to come here, but not only come here, be a part of something special. So I'm grateful. Every day that I get to practice, play, or do anything involved in this game, I'm gonna make sure I go at it 200%. So, we're just continuing to get better and continue to keep grinding and stay on the path.
During Steve Blake's 3 triples, it must have been landing to the heart because
Yeah.
he's had his issues, obviously.
I think he's being judged by his shooting, which is it's understandable because we need him to make shots, and he himself conceded. I spoke to him this morning and saying that we recognise those shots aren't falling, but every other part of his game has been really good. He's distributing the ball, he's defending well, his IQ for the game, he sees the floor really well. So, we just got to keep encouraging him because we've seen glimpses of if he can knock down those shots on a regular basis, and you've got those 3 guys between Jason, Kevin, and Steve that have that capacity to do that. It's tough. We have our challenges down the other end of the floor against a team like Perth who've got some bigs, but the way Kevin and Jason and Steve, the way they battle, they're switching on to bigs some of the times, and they're just working their tails off down low to wait for some help or deny the ball, and that's something that we're going to have to deal with because, there are times when we're going to be small, but they also have to guard us down the other end of the floor, and, hopefully we can get you see a little bits and pieces, just his confidence growing, he's feeling more comfortable. He understands the pattern of what we do, but he still doesn't have a complete grasp of where he can get his stuff from. Everyone says, just put him in just put him in pick and rolls, put him in pick and rolls. Yeah, he's very good at that, and he can distribute the ball, but he works as good as any off the ball. The way he moves, comes off screens, and when we've got to find ways to exploit those skills just as much as him getting into on-ball screens.
You ran your 3-guard rotation, actually, the 3 of them down the stretch when they started pressing you. Is that smaller lineup, that smaller, quicker lineup, something you need to go to a bit more?
Well, in theory, it sounded like a good idea because we're 17, 18 up, and I throw the 3 littles in there just so we can get ball handling and free throw shooting. I guess in hindsight, it wasn't a great move because they got their bigs, they trap, they deny and trap, and when you got big guys double teaming the little guy, we had problems with that, and almost a couple of turnovers, and we gave up some baskets on that. So maybe in hindsight, in that particular setting, it wasn't the right idea. But hopefully, as the season rolls on, we can have a look at those options as well. To see how we can play those 3 guys together, because it'll spread the floor, that's for sure. When they all can light it up and all can put it on the floor, and even down the stretch there, we saw guys getting to the rim. They got blocked a few times, and Kevin missed a little dinky one, and Jace missed a little dinky one. Because there's some big boys out there in a lot of traffic. So if we can finish on those plays and it spreads the floor, helps open it up for these guys down low, and as we go, our offense and the things we do has continually got to evolve. Even right now, the way we run our stuff and the points of emphasis now that we go to is different than it was in the first 3 or 4 weeks because, teams, they scout, they know every single thing that we're doing, and you got to continue to add and grow on it to counter what the defence is countering on the counter, if that makes any sense.
And Melbourne next up, obviously a completely different proposition than the last time you spoke about that.
They right now, I think, would have, on paper, when they're healthy, as good as talent as anyone in the competition. Hey, we don't shy away from it. We're up there. I think that Perth, Melbourne United, ourselves, I really like Brisbane. I think pure talent, that they've got that group there, and certainly Cairns with what they're doing, got some great talent as well. They've had a real problems with injuries, but it'll be a completely different game. Casper Ware comes in and he can light it up. Chris Golding, my goodness, watching him yesterday, transformed the team. He is a superstar of the competition, and for a guy who'd been out for 5 or 6 games, his timing was impeccable. His timing in that game, as far as his ball movement and coming off shots, was better than what it was before he hurt his ankle. He looked just in complete control that entire game and hit some big buckets down the stretch to get him over the line. So, you know, it's going to be a completely different game to what we played 2 weeks ago. And as I said after that game, I was grateful to get that win because it was an advantage we had because they had their guys out. But now they're playing with a full deck, and it's going to test us.
It's feeling better. It's very, very, very sore, but it's feeling better. I'm gonna go get some treatment and make sure I do the right things, take care of this body, so I can be ready for the next game.
Which he does. He's got more ice bags and massage and weights. He looks after his body better than anyone I've known. You reckon he might have a little something going on here, a little bit more than me? Come on, mate. Might need to work on those guns a little bit here. But no, he looks after his body as good as anyone I've seen. He, you know, absolute pro with the way. Which, you know, he's not an old man, but that's what you need to do. So no, you're not. You're not an old man at all. I'm old. You're just a baby, mate.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.